How do I get through the holidays without cheating on my diet? Let's talk about it. Hey health heroes, welcome back to Adamimmune, the channel all about helping you improve your autoimmune health naturally. Today we're going to be talking about cheating on the holidays, or getting through the holidays while staying Autoimmune Paleo AIP compliant. And I know for a lot of us that is really tough because food has a very tight connection with our holidays, our families, gatherings in general, and I just want to talk about how I get through the holidays. For those of you that are going to say, well, it's okay to cheat one day a year, a few times a year, it's not going to hurt on your diet, this video is not for you. If you're only on a pure weight loss journey, this video is not for you. This is all about autoimmune health. Foods trigger our autoimmune diseases. They affect us months later, delayed reactions, and for some people those symptoms are just not worth it. This channel is only for health heroes. If you're trying to make your lifestyle better and you don't want to suffer anymore and you really are trying to get through the holidays in a better way, this video is probably for you. First of all, you should always prep, okay? Prep is key in any of this. In fact, it's key in most of our daily lives every day, right? So if you're not looking ahead to these holidays and you're just thinking, well, I'll figure it out, you're planning to fail, let's be honest. Now, you're going to have cookies and cakes and candy. Halloween's coming up, and you're going to think, well, a piece of candy is going to be okay. No, you can't do that. I know it's tough. I know you're going to want to say, well, let me just take one out. It's going to be okay. But you might be suffering weeks later. I'm not going to look down on you for cheating because, let's be honest, probably most people are going to sneak a few bites of something this Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween. Am I? No. But for me, my symptoms are so horrible, I couldn't even dream of it, honestly. Now, if you're to that point, this might be helpful to you, but you have to get there mentally first, I think. You have to it takes time. I know that. It does take time. But, if you're serious about your health and you want to take your health as your first priority, as I believe most of us should, especially if we're very sick, then, yeah, I think this is probably the best way to go. I don't believe in a balanced diet. Not anymore. Some people can get away with eating a little sugar, some grains, some vegetable oils, tons of processed foods, and you know what? They're probably young. It's going to catch up to you, I promise. It is going to catch up to you, and you're going to look back and say, I wish I hadn't done that. And maybe one day isn't going to hurt you, but having that mindset where food can control you and addiction is in charge instead of your own critical thinking mind, that is going to cause tons of issues down the road. I promise you. It's good to deal with this before it gets too out of hand, because that's what this is. It's a matter of food addiction. Any excuse that you can lay out in the comments below is just an addiction. If you're saying, well, I can have a little bit of sugar, it's not going to cause me too much harm, or I don't react to a little bit of sugar, you're causing your body damage. We all know that's an excuse. It isn't a valid point, and I hate to be the guy to say it, but it's true. This is not a balanced diet. We cannot go to the store and buy a little bit of poison and poison ourselves a little bit every day and say that's a balanced diet, because poison is not food, and that is not healthy. That is an unhealthy mindset if you think that, and I'm sorry if you do, but I hope you can get past that. Maybe I'll come up with some videos in the future, maybe to help you get past that, especially sugar addiction. I was there. I'm not just preaching and ranting at you. I felt it. I lived it every single day of my life till just a couple of years ago. So it is very real for most of us, but I promise you, you can get better. You can kill that addiction. And once you do, you're going to have a good, healthy relationship with food, and food isn't going to have its own personality. You're not going to say, I love tacos. Well, I love grandma's cookies. Your family, it might be a good idea to let them know you're on a special diet and say, hey, this is what happens if I do. Maybe you could not make me feel bad about not eating these foods. So let them know. That's another good tip. But also, if someone is saying, oh, you got to eat this, you got to eat this, explain to them what they're saying. Let's be honest, probably most people don't even care what you eat in the first place. They don't care. They don't think you're being rude. Just tell them you're on a special diet and be like, oh, okay, I understand. That's good. But, some people, ultimately, they're going to be like, well, it's one day. You're not going to ruin your diet with one piece of cookie or cake or whatever. But you know what? For our diet, it will ruin it, okay? And who has one bite of a cookie or one Oreo? No one eats just one piece of something, okay? Be honest with yourself. You know, a food that might be toxic to me or poisonous to most people might not be for you. There are foods that are toxic to everyone, like sugar, grains, dairy, these refined sugars, these modern conventional dairies, things like that. I'll get into raw dairy another time. But these foods are bad for all of us, okay? We know that. They are toxic to our system. Some foods are not toxic to everyone. Some people are sensitive to different things, like blueberries, take for example, okay? I can't have blueberries. I'm not sure exactly why, but I can't have them. To someone else, they're gonna probably be totally fine, right? I mean, it's just a harmless blueberry, right? But there's a lot of foods like that we all have sensitivities to. So while sugar and dairy or grains might be toxic to most of us, you might have several foods that are toxic to you personally. So those foods would be cheat foods for you. A blueberry would be a cheat food for me on Thanksgiving. And yes, it might sound okay for most people, but for you it's not. That would be a cheat for you. So any way you're harming your body is cheating. You don't want to damage your body in any way. If you are eating foods that damage your body, that is not a healthy lifestyle. And that is not going to put you in a healthy state of mind ever. Just work on it, try to get better. Don't let people tell you you have to eat like everybody else. Just because everyone else eats refined sugar does not mean you have to do it. That is not a valid excuse anymore, okay? We are above that now. I'm not saying we're better than anybody else, but we know. And the fact that we know what it does to our bodies means we shouldn't be doing it. Now, for people that don't know, you know, ignorance can be bliss sometimes. The best tip I can give you for getting through the holidays without cheating is just to treat, not cheat, okay? So you're going to want to go and say for Christmas you would make fudge or cookies or whatever. Instead of doing that, make something that everyone can eat that's delicious and compliant. It's not that hard. There are tons of recipes on the internet. I'm sure Stacy from Real World AIP will be putting out some videos on that. But also there are tons of blogs that are AIP compliant. Check them out. Please don't hurt anybody else that is going to eat, you know, a regular standard American diet this holiday. If someone's on a regular diet, you know, let's not try to make them feel bad. Obviously, I'm not putting this out on anything else but YouTube because you guys are here for better health, and you know, you really take food, you take your health as a priority, and I appreciate that. But you know, people aren't there yet, and if they're not, that's okay. Hopefully, you know, they can see the way. Hopefully, by just being a good influence and showing people, not telling people, that you can lose weight and also find autoimmune remission or at least huge improvements this way, maybe you'll show them that there is a better way to live. You know, they don't have to eat that way. People aren't going to know until they try it for themselves. Cutting out pizza and candy and tacos and ice cream and all these other things, you know, it's so difficult to do, but once they do it, it's so hard to go back. Can we just talk about kids and candy and Halloween and how this whole holiday is super ridiculous? I love Halloween, first of all, okay, so don't hate on me. It's one of my favorite holidays of all time. But probably because it's so different, right? But this whole candy epidemic is out of control. Bribing kids with candy every year is not the way to go. It's not healthy emotionally or physically, okay, for anyone. I think we could all probably agree on that. These foods, and I don't even want to call them foods because candy and chocolate and all of those Halloween treats, they give no nutrition whatsoever to these kids, so they're really not food. So what do? Do we tell these kids, no, you can't have candy? Now, I know all of you, you're thinking, well, I hear this all the time. I'm nostalgic. You know, I want my kids to experience the same things that I experienced as a kid. Well, do you want them to be as sick as you are? Do you think true nostalgia is letting them have the same flavors that you've experienced in your life and that you love? Is that healthy for your kids? Is that what's best for them? Saying that you want them to have the same experiences you had that led you down this dark, unhealthy path to getting this autoimmune disease in the first place, well, I don't know what to tell you on that one. I don't know. That's like the worst excuse or point that a person could make, I think.
But Adam, kids love candy.
I get that we're addicted to certain flavors and we love certain branding and marketing, but that's exactly what it is. It's these companies putting together these pictures and colors to, you know, convey this feeling and emotion that we had when we were a kid. I get that. I was a huge fan of cereals, okay, and cereal boxes and cereal box marketing and all of that and the commercials. I still love it, and I love to look at them and all the new flavors and varieties, but does that mean I'm going to go and eat them? And if I have a kid someday, God willing, am I going to go and say, oh, you got to have Cookie Crisp, you got to have Oreo O's, Frankenberry? No. Now, I'm not a parent, so you can go ahead and leave in the comments, well, if you're a parent, you'd understand, Adam. No. But ultimately, your health is a priority for you, but your kids' health is not a priority for them. Very few kids have health as a priority. Why is that, Adam? Because they don't care. They're not sick all the time. Well, they are starting to get sick nowadays, okay? And for some kids in the hospitals, I know they worry about it, but they don't connect food with how they feel. They don't understand that connection. They need more time. But you can make that choice. You can be better for them. You have to make the decision. That's on you, and it is your responsibility. You know, you have to do something different if you want to expect different results with health. Okay, and if you don't want your child to grow up getting all these common diseases that everyone seems to get nowadays and these chronic pains, you got to make different decisions. And you can't let these big companies tell you what to buy, what to feed your children, because they do not care about you, your children's health. All they care about is a little extra money in their pocket, and that's not who I want to trust to feed me. If that's who you want to trust, go for it. You know, people think I'm the crazy one for not buying Coca-Cola or eating cake. So for Thanksgiving, you could always cook the family dinner and just make alternative substitutes for AIP compliant foods. But there's no way I'm ever doing that. For those of you out there that's doing that, props to you. I'm not going to be doing that. So, you know, in fact, I'm just going to be bringing my food wherever I go. For Christmas this year, I'm going to be planning a water fast to get through, you know, an extended water fast. So hopefully that goes well. But like I said, you know, you don't have to do what everyone else does. You can be different, okay? And this will definitely set you apart. Definitely. So let's all try to do a little less emotional eating these holidays and try to get through without any damage. If you do cheat, I still love you. I still think you're a health hero. Just please don't make that excuse that everyone makes. Oh, it's the holidays. Oh, it's emotional. Oh, I don't want to be rude. You know, at least come up with a new one. Or I think what's better to say is, hey, I planned on cheating. I will suffer the consequences. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you got through this without getting too angry with me. This is just my holiday rant video. You should have expected it, and a lot of people asked for it, so I try to do that every now and then if I think a video is going to help a lot of people out. If you have some tips that you can give to me or some other people, leave those in the comments. I'm sure some people will really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.